Now, what's interesting here is that this process of uncovering our motivations for work and realizing that, we've actually been seeking this thing outside of ourselves, and now we're presented with the awareness of it. This process follows the hero's journey. And so this is a process referred to as the monomyth, coined by Joseph Campbell, a famous mythologist and professor, a really incredible thinker. And he basically found that all great narratives over millennia, from the Bible to Star Wars, but all great myth, like in all cultures, from Siddhartha to the Buddha and, all different tales, that they all followed this same structure. So the monomyth is essentially this process where our hero starts off and is presented with some kind of dilemma, right? So the main character, the hero in all of these stories, starts with some kind of calling, right? So there's an awareness that things aren't quite what they seem. And, usually there's like a quest, there's a calling to go out into the unknown, to go off and embark on some kind of healing or some kind of process to learn something, right? But our hero starts off weak, disempowered, flawed. The hero starts as a very flawed person. So if you think about, our relationship to work, and you go, okay, I'm aware that I've been, acting from this space where I've been seeking validation, or I've been looking for money, or I've been looking for love, and I've been looking for acceptance. That is us in our flawed, disempowered human state. And then we receive this calling to change, to shift. And so as our hero makes the decision, do I want to keep doing what I'm doing? Do I want to keep living this way? Or do I want to heed the call? And do I want to go off and figure out what I'm doing, who I am, and how I can solve this for myself, right? So they then go off into the unknown on a quest to resolve this psychological dilemma. And it's not always a psychological dilemma. Sometimes it's like the princess has been kidnapped and, something's been stolen and they need to get it back. But what always happens is that our hero starts off doubting themselves, doubting who they are, doubting their ability. And, the journey of the monomyth, of the hero, is always one of becoming strong, of reconciling their self-doubt and really leaning into and learning how to be courageous. And so it is a journey of going down into the depths of the psyche and reconciling with the self, right? Usually, they'll meet people, so there's some kind of mentor, supernatural aid. There'll be like signs, synchronicities where it's like, yes, I'm on the path. And then they cross the threshold. That's, when they venture out into this realm of no longer being in the ordinary world or being in the matrix or like living in an ordinary way, but venturing down and descending into the self, into the depths of the psyche, and doing that internal work and having those internal battles to then really become strong. And so this is like, in the Karate Kid, where he's training every single day, right? And he's training to try and overcome the bullies. And that's ultimately what we're doing. We start weak, and then we have to become masterful. We have to put in those 10,000 hours. We have to put in the reps to become strong, to overcome our fear, to overcome our self-doubt. What is my meaning? What is my motivation? Like, can I actually heal this part of me that has been seeking for this thing outside of myself that has been causing me pain and everyone around me pain? I believe that we all have this opportunity to go on a great hero's journey in our own individual lives. I don't think everyone heeds the call. I don't think everyone goes off on that journey and leaves the ordinary world. I think a lot of people just stay in the ordinary world suffering and kind of just dealing with it because, they're not ready yet to go out and venture into the unknown. They're not ready to, leave the safety and the security, and that overrides the other factors. Maybe their pain threshold isn't that great. But for those of us who do heed the call to adventure and go out into the unknown, leave the ordinary world, there is a really incredible journey that you get to embark upon. And so as you go through, these stages, eventually you'll hit the midpoint, which is the revelation. You sort of go into the abyss, and there's this death and rebirth portal where you become the new you. There's an identity transformation. There is this rising from the ashes, this phoenix kind of moment where you become strong and you're reborn.